Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm looking kind of, I got a haircut, blah, 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 blah. If you want to know more about that, just, I don't know, go to, you could go to, wait, hold up. You can go to my Reddit, which I have something about my face review. Well, it's not my face review. And you could go to and go to my Instagram. You'll find about that too. About Marco, but you already know. We're getting into scary TikToks. I don't know if I want to do this. View at your own risk. Okay, guys, just to warn you. Okay, just to warn you at the beginning of the video, if you are get scared very easily and disturbed really easily, I recommend clicking off. Because honestly, we don't know how disturbing this could be. So you might want to click off if you're too scared. But if you actually want to try, I'm being serious, caution warning, I'm not trying to disturb anyone. So if y'all really feel like y'all should, if y'all think y'all could do it or want to do it, then I guess stay if you want. But if you really don't feel like it, you can skip the video or skip this part. But keep your caution waiting because there could be other videos, like I said, so I suggest, if you get scared easily, don't watch this video. Brian, I know you, Brian, he's probably B-Buzz, as I know you're watching this video. So all I'm saying is, come on now, you got to stay. There's no way you're not going to stay. You're older than me, and you're literally 3 months older than me, and I'm doing it. But everyone else who's probably younger than the age of 11 or 13 maybe, you might want to click off. Because this could, who knows how disturbing this could be. Alright, we're doing it. I don't want to turn it down. No, guys, I don't want y'all to watch that. No. Okay, we're not going to watch that. Oh my, that was terrifying.
That tree has a bunch. And then this log over here has a bunch. Take a walk over there.
Hold on. I think I should have took it.
There's one over here. Looks like it's holding some water. Huh? I think it's time to go.
Does this video disturb you?
Dilly, dilly, bone, close your eyes now. Someone's walking outside and knocking on the door.
Does this video disturb you?
A little bit.
That turned out to be creepy. Little Miss No Name was a doll released by Hasbro in 1965. It was meant to be an alternative to the popular Barbie dolls, and it was designed to teach little girls compassion for the less fortunate, as Little Miss No Name was barefoot, wore nothing but a sack, and had a single tear coming down her cheek. The doll had the opposite effect.
Guys, this is all fake. Most of it is. Like the blood curdling scream thing, that's most likely fake. There's no way it is, because on TikTok on my phone I've seen it before, and I've seen the sound and it was staged. It's not real. But most of these videos are fake. The soul leaving thing, most likely fake. So no need to be scared, and if it's right now really late for y'all and y'all haven't really fully got scared yet, I suggest cooking off and waiting tomorrow to do it with a friend or something, so you don't get too terrified. Let's get back into it.
Effect. Most kids were terrified by the creepy-looking doll, and those eyes were something coming from a nightmare. Unsurprisingly, the doll lasted only a few years. Kid-friendly things that turned out to be creepy. Child-friendly items that turn out to be nightmarish. The face bank is designed to be fun for kids because the mouth moves and swallows money as you put your hand close to it. The description says it's the savings bank that will make them want to save. They'll be running around the house searching for coins to feed their face bank. Yeah, they'll be running out of the house after they see this nightmare fuel. Child-friendly items that turn out to
What is the creepiest thing your kid has ever said to you?
My 16-year-old has said a couple creepy things to me. The first thing she did was when she was maybe 2, we're sitting in the car outside of McDonald's waiting for a friend of mine, and she's looking out the side window, and she goes, "No, this is Mommy's Coke. You can't have that." I let her hold my Coke so she would just have something in her hands to play with. And I'm looking in my rearview mirror, and I just see her going, "No, it's Mommy's. You can't have that. I'm sorry you're thirsty. You can't have that." And I asked her, I said, "What's going on? Who are you talking to?" She said, "The lady outside the door." "What lady outside the door? There's no lady there." "Oh, there was. She wanted your Coke. She's thirsty." I said, "Well, what does she look like?" She said that she had black stringy hair, and she was very skinny and pale and dirty. And later on, I found out that a homeless woman died of dehydration behind the dumpster in the back of that McDonald's. And she wanted my drink. So the second thing was I lived somewhere, and my spare bedroom had some spirit that anyone who stayed there would tell me about him. Like people who never even knew each other would tell me about him. And he was a tall black figure that would just like hover over you and just...
Yo, that first one was terrifying. That's so... Yo, I'm legit. Yo, guys. That's legit terrifying.
Stare at you, but just felt mean. Well, one day I'm sitting in my living room, and you could see that door from my living room, and my daughter goes, "Mommy, the man's staring at me." I said, "What man?" She goes, "The man in the doorway down there." I said, "Is he a young man or an old man like Papa?" "A younger man." And so she's like, "I don't know what he wants." I said, "Well, Go ask him what his name is. You know, she starts to walk down the hallway and she hauls ass back. She goes, no, he's mean, Mommy. I can't go ask him for his name. He's mean. He's going to hurt me. I know it. And the third thing that really freaks me out is when I was younger, I had an imaginary friend named Max. And Max's favorite food was oatmeal, and he died by getting hit by a bus, like all kinds of shit, right? So
how do you imagine? I have an imaginary friend that likes oatmeal and got hit by a bus. What? That's...
One day, my daughter tells me about her imaginary friend named Max and how much he misses playing with me. And I grew up to be a beautiful woman and that he loves me and will always be watching me and protecting my family.
What is the creepiest thing your kid has ever said to you?
That's terrifying. I already feel like clicking off. I'm definitely gonna get traumatized with this video. Not this video, a video. Child friendly.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul.
Everyone always gives Mom a funny look when they hear I'm allowed around kids. What they don't know is her and Dad have trained me to be tolerant of annoying behaviors to lower risks.
Creepiest YouTube videos to ever exist, part 3. I can't really play the video without any context, yet I don't have a lot of explaining to do. So there of course is zero description on what this video is about, but apparently some random old guy kind of went crazy and started putting clay all over his face. The video is called What Is Behind Your Face, and if you like these videos and want to see more, be sure to like and follow.
These are the creepiest YouTube channels to ever exist. Part 1. Number 1, Meat Sleep. Meat Sleep began posting in 2015 and has since then stopped posting, but that still doesn't change the fact that its horrifying videos and very disturbing history linked to the channel gives it a spot on this list. Meat Sleep then removed the several videos it had on the channel even after garnering over 16,000 subscribers, but that still doesn't change the fact that some people saw some very terrible things. Most of the channel consisted of videos that seemed to be of people being stalked, but there was one video in particular that people pointed out that really just got under their skin. There was one video on the channel titled Meat Pig, which in cannibals terms is actually human meat. Many people believe that the creator behind these videos is secretly a murderer and a cannibal as well. I assume the creator of this channel is still unknown, but who knows, they may be in jail. These are the
I don't wanna live that way. said that you could let it go, and I wouldn't catch you hung up on somebody that you used to know. You didn't have to cut me off, because I could never thought we were nothing. Now and then I think of all the times you screwed me over.
Alright, tell me I'm on fucking crack. Every time I turn off the light, there's like a shadow there. Watch. You see that? What the fuck? What the fuck? Tell me I'm not on
I thought that was
fucking
like a
crack,
cling
dude.
and he was just freaking out about it, but
What the fuck, dude? I'm out of here. Ma. Alright, tell me I'm on
well,
fucking
okay,
crack.
so you
Every
see
time I turn off
nothing's
the
there,
light,
right? Nothing's
there's
there.
like a shadow
The next thing you know, something appears there. Do you not see that little head figure thingy? That's just terrifying. That's
What the fuck? Tell me I'm not on fucking crack,
Yes.
dude. Hell no.
terrifying.
Fuck, dude, I'm out of here. Ma.
Turn the light on.
Alright, tell me I'm on fucking
so it
crack.
can't
Every time I
attack.
turn off the light,
If you do that
there's like a
multiple times, it's
shadow
gonna
there.
run at you.
Watch. You see that? What the fuck?
That does not look photoshopped.
What the fuck? Tell me I'm not on fucking crack, dude. Hell
No,
no.
you're not.
What the fuck, dude? I'm
Don't
out
go
of
in
here.
there. Don't go in there.
Alright, tell me I'm on fucking
Don't even
crack.
walk to
Every
the
time
door.
I
Just
turn off the
get
light,
the heck out of the
there's like a
house.
shadow there.
Creepy YouTube videos, part 1.
On this video,
Alright, tell me
get
I'm-
your dogs, your pets, and get the heck out of the house.
Creepy
Set it on
YouTube
fire.
videos, part 1.
Apple Lake, this is day 21. This guy. Whoa, what are you doing? Sorry. Whoa. Is he just like trying to. Sorry, they couldn't say. The fuck? The fuck? He just started following me. And then trying to like. Oh my god, I feel so disgusted right now.
What? Guys, I don't think I can go on. I'm scared. Guys.
I literally hate you, bitch. How the fuck do you expect to make money, Julie, if you don't like to work? Julie, my door just fucking opened. What? No, stop. What the fuck? What the fucking fuck? Bitch, it's not even that late. Kevin's not home from work yet. What the? Oh my god.
Shut in his room.
What the fucking... Oh. No. Oh! No. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What the Julie, you're fucking lying. You're fucking lying.
Nope. It looks
Daddy, 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 hurry! I saw something scurry!
Son, what's all this screaming for? You're gonna wake the neighbors next door.
Daddy, I think there's a spider on my floor. Is it? And will you squish it?
You call me middle of the night to come into your room and destroy life.
Daddy, 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 hurry. I saw something scary.
Tiptoe through the window, by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Oh, tiptoe from the garden.
Okay, well that was the end of the list.
Honey, monsters aren't real. Little does she know, I'm not her son. I don't want kids. No. I think I might be the most successful serial killer in history. The best part is telling their loved ones we did everything we could. I'm still processing this one. I asked the genie for 1,000 a day for the rest of my life. Sighing, he gave me 3,000 total and said good luck. I know what everyone's thinking. That means he only has 3 days, but what I want to focus on is why he only asked for 1,000. Like, why 1,000? Why 1,000 a day? Honey, monsters aren't real. Little does she know, I'm...
Scary stories about Disneyland, except this one there's actual proof. One time a guy went to Disneyland and was waiting to ride the roller coaster on Space Mountain. He was standing in line when a guy with red hair came up to him and started talking to him. He seemed nice, but he was a little bit odd. But the thing is, when the ride was over, this red-haired man literally vanished into thin air. The guest reported this incident and was told that he was alone the entire time. This guest might have just encountered a ghost people know as Mr. One Way. Rumor has it that he's the ghost of a man who
Creepy ghost stories from each state.
Scary stories about Disneyland.
Yo guys, that scared the crap out of me. My dad just came in my room because he just got home, and then it scared the crap out of me. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, okay. So I just muted my mic and stuff. So they went blah blah blah. But let's get back to
Land, except this one there's actual proof. One time a guy went to Disneyland and was waiting to ride the roller coaster on Space Mountain. He was standing in line when a guy with red hair came up to him and started talking to him. He seemed nice, but he was a little bit odd. But the thing is, when the ride was over, this red-haired man literally vanished into thin air. The guest reported this incident and was told that he was alone the entire time. This guest might have just encountered a ghost people know as Mr. One Way. Rumor has it that he's the ghost of a man who passed away while on the ride in the 1970s. He always vanishes right before the ride is over, and he likes to talk to people who are riding the roller coaster alone. People have also reported seeing him in the cast member locker rooms. Follow if you want a part 2 because there's so many ghost stories about Disneyland.
Creepy ghost stories from each state, part 4.
California, Alcatraz prison. Staying at Alcatraz was no joke, and even the spirits of the most insane and notorious criminals were broken there. It is said that the empty cells inside the walls of Alcatraz still home the restless spirits that remain there. Some of the worst criminals in America, including Arthur Doc Barker, Machine Gun Kelly, and Al Capone.
Creepy ghost
criminals is Machine Gun. What? Did I hear that right? Machine Gun Kelly's a criminal?
stories from each state, part 4.
California, Alcatraz prison. Staying at Alcatraz was no joke, and even the spirits of the most insane and notorious criminals were broken there. It is said that the empty Kelly and Al Capone.
Creepy ghost stories from each state, part 4.
Gun Kelly and Machine Gun Keller, Machine Gun Barker, including Arthur Doc Barker, Machine Gun, the worst criminals in America, including Arthur Doc Barker, Machine Gun Kelly, and Al Capone.
So Machine Gun Kelly is one of the worst criminals in America. Hold up. Hold the phone. Yeah, that just got me terrified. That legitly terrified me. That's what came up. And
Clayton was diagnosed with a very rare form of leukemia.
Back in the day, if you wanted to become a public enemy #1, you really had to work for the title. And the man we're going to talk about today definitely put in the effort to earn it. He started small and ended his career with a series of crimes that would go down in American history. In the 1930s, stories pervaded the U.S. public landscape about this expert machine gunner and his crime sprees. The authorities were always one step behind as machine...
okay, so that's not the Machine Gun Kelly. Or it is. I don't know. I don't want to worry about that anymore.
Creepy ghost stories from each state, part. Creepy ghost stories from each state, part 1.
Alabama. On February 1858, a steamboat named Eliza Battle set out on a cruise down the Tombigbee River, carrying 60 passengers and more than 1,200 bales of cotton. On March 1st, an unseasonably cold night, the cotton caught fire and quickly engulfed the ship into flame. This disaster left 33 passengers and crew dead. On brisk and chilly nights, people sometimes see the burning Eliza Battle rising from the misty waters where it sank, trying to complete its journey.
Creepy ghost stories from each state, part 1.
This is one of the creepiest paranormal stories I have ever heard, and it happened in one of the most haunted places in the USA. Savannah, Georgia. So a father purchased this antique bed for a Christmas present for his son, Jason. Jason was so excited until the first night that he slept in the bed. He could feel a presence with him in the room. Somebody was watching him sleep. As the days went on, even stranger occurrences happened. Just watch the video. Just watch.
Well, I had a picture of my grandparents on one of my nightstands. The next morning when I woke up, my grandparents' picture was shattered. And that's when my mom was a little hysterical. She knew it wasn't me because I wouldn't break my own grandparents' picture.
That's when we went to his daddy and said, there's something going on here. He says, well, it must be a spirit or a ghost or whatever.
Then it entered into my head to ask the spirit if he wanted to tell me his name.
He said, whoever's out there, whatever you want.
If you're here, write something to us.
And I put down a pencil and paper.
Walked out of the room.
Shut the door.
When we came back,
he had wrote down Danny Sevens.
That pretty much freaked me out right there.
I found it very disturbing.
I didn't want to sleep in there at all.
Even though I said I've always believed in spirits and ghosts, but it was always somebody else's experience. It never was my experience.
He wrote a note about his mother died in the bed in 1899, and that made us kind of sad, I guess, but it was kind of confusing because we didn't know if his mother had died in the bed or if Danny had died in the bed.
He liked to play little jokes on us.
He didn't want me to sleep in the bed at all.
That was his bed.
This is one of
Oh, tiptoe through the window, by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Oh, tiptoe through the window, by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips.
This is one of the most haunted lakes in America, and I had an experience here that scared me. The lake is supposedly haunted by a number of spirits, but the most famous... This is one of the most haunted lakes in America, and I had an experience here that scared me. The lake is supposedly haunted by a number of spirits, but the most famous is the Lady in White. Apparently, a number of people have picked up a woman in a white dress while she was standing on the road near the lake, and when they got to her house, she disappeared. There have been so many accidents, drownings, and murders that involve this lake. It's absolutely crazy. Just recently, the body of a transgender woman was found here after she was murdered. The suspect was quickly caught, but it added to the lake's dark reputation. In the 1900s, a plane crashed in this lake, killing all the passengers on board. And it's rumored that there are a number of bodies at the bottom of the lake, stemming from mob activity. Would you go swimming in this lake?
No.
I've always wanted to, but I've never been swimming. There's a video on my YouTube channel of me ghost hunting.
It happened to me one time, but it could have just been because I was listening to music and I was very tired.
Can I show you a really creepy video? I literally screamed the first time I saw this video. So just be careful, trigger warning, jump scare.
Okay guys, you hear that? Trigger warning. So be prepared, there's going to be a jump scare. I'm going to take my mic like that.
All of that. I also found this one during my Twitch stream, and this one got me, okay? I'm just gonna show it to you. I will tell you this, pay attention to this corner, okay? Okay, here's the clip. Did you catch it? No? I'll show you. I'll show you.
Face there.
Can I show you?
It wasn't that bad of a jump scare, but you can. It wasn't even a jump scare technically.
In 2018, 2 men in Hokkaido, Japan had recorded a woman believed to be a yokai, not moving or responding to their vehicle, which was right in front of her. She stood and stared directly at them even after they attempted to move away from her. When this video was uploaded, Japanese people began to dissect why she was acting that way. They said it could be a possible seizure, epilepsy, schizophrenia, or even sleepwalking. Then they went on to show other similar instances of people standing in place without moving. This led to people thinking she may be a rokurokubi due to her long neck. This is a type of yokai who looks identical to humans but are able to stretch their necks to unnerving lengths. What do you think? Could it be a medical issue or a sight of something out of this realm?
The scariest things police have seen, part 40.
Oh no, this is definitely. Click off the video if you get very scared of things again. I'm just saying.
6. This was sent to me by a nephew of a trucker who had an encounter with a police officer. This trucker was driving on Highway 152 in California. He got pulled over by a highway patrol officer. It was odd though, because the police vehicle looked like an older 80s model unit. The officer gave him a ticket and left. Later on, the trucker went to the courthouse to fight the ticket. The judge looked at the ticket, got up and asked, "Do you think this is a joke?" The trucker said, "Why?" The judge told him that the officer's name and ID number used on the ticket belonged to an officer that had died on that freeway almost 40 years earlier. The Scariest Things Police Have Seen, Part 46.
That's
This was sent to me by Nick.
But I'm at the end of the road again. Oh my gosh. You know what, guys? To lighten the mood, let's do it. Never mind. Scary stories.
Can you do the one where the bride gets trapped in a chest? I know exactly.
Guys, brace yourself.
Which one you're talking about. It's called The Bride. This was a very...
Okay, Brian, I'm terrified. If you see this video and you're still watching this far, congratulations. I'm terrified right now. I think I'm...
popular one. So the story goes like there was a couple who had just gotten married, and during their wedding reception they were having lots of fun, dancing, singing, and even playing games and contests. One of the games that they decided to play was hide and seek. The bride went up to the attic and was looking for a place to hide when she came across a giant chest. She opened the chest and climbed in, thinking nobody would ever find her in there, and that when they went up to the attic to look for her, she could pop out and scare them. Well, right after she had climbed into the chest, the top had slammed down and hit her in the head, knocking her unconscious. As she fell inside the trunk, the lid then slammed closed and locked. Everybody was looking for her, but nobody looked inside the trunk. After a while, they started searching elsewhere, searching all over the wedding venue and even all across town. Nobody knows how long she was banging on the trunk after she had come out of her unconscious state. But still, she was all the way in the attic and nobody could hear her. After a while of searching for her, all of her friends and family decided that she was gone and that they would just stop looking for her. Nobody ever knew what happened to her, except for one day, a maid was looking for something in the house where the wedding venue had taken place. She went up into the attic searching for this item and thought, maybe it's in the trunk. So she opened the trunk, and to her horror, the corpse of the bride was in the trunk, withered away to only a skeleton, wearing her wedding dress. Can you do the one where the bride gets trapped in a chest?
I'm gonna be telling you
This is why you should always...
I'm gonna be telling you a true scary story about the children who lived in my woods called the Lost Boys. As a kid, I would always play in the woods behind my house. And as a kid, I loved playing in them because I had a whole bunch of friends who lived in the woods. And you might be thinking, kids don't live in the woods. And that's exactly right, because they were actual ghosts. But as a kid, I did not know that. I would go out every single day, and there was about 10 boys who would play with me. We would build tree forts, we would play hide and seek, chase, everything. I invited them over for dinner all the time, but they told me that they couldn't leave, that they were stuck in the woods. I didn't understand, but I just let them be. I would always bring my friends out there, and none of them could see them. Everyone just told me I was crazy. But that was until I went missing for 2 days because one of the boys told me to come with him. So I did. He took me really, really far back into the woods, and I was super lost. And things started to go really bad. Stay tuned for part 2. I'm going to be telling you a true scary story about the children who lived in...
This is why you should always keep your phone charged. A girl named Marissa came home from school at around 3 p.m. She walked in the door and told her mom that some random number kept calling her all day. Her mom told her the person may have the wrong number and just to ignore it. Marissa said okay and begins to do her homework. A couple hours later, she receives a phone call from the same number. Marissa answers it this time and says, "Hello?" The man then says, "We finally found you. Don't worry, bunny." Marissa begins to panic and tells her mom what just happened. Her mom's face goes blank and says, "What did the man just call you?" Marissa says, "He called me bunny." Her mom yells and says, "Grab your stuff, we need to leave." Marissa, confused, packs her things and gets into the red car. Her mom begins driving fast and turns on the radio. The radio says, "The baby named Marissa who was kidnapped in the hospital 10 years ago has been found and police are searching for a red car." Marissa looks at the woman and says, "Who are you?" The woman looks back and says, "You can call me mommy." This is why you should always keep your phone charged. A girl named Marissa came home from school at around 3 p.m. She walked in the door and told her mom that some random number kept calling her all day. Her mom told her the person may have the wrong number and just to ignore it. Marissa said okay and begins to do her homework. A couple hours later, she receives a phone call from the same number. Marissa answers it this time and says, Hello? The man then says, "We finally found you. Don't worry, Bunny." Marissa begins to panic and tells her mom what just happened. Her mom's face goes blank and says, "What did the man just call you?" Marissa says, "He called me Bunny." Her mom yells and says, "Grab your stuff, we need to leave." Marissa, confused, packs her things and gets into the red car. Her mom begins driving fast and turns on the radio. The radio says, "The baby named Marissa who was kidnapped in the hospital 10 years ago has been found and police are searching for a red car." Marissa...
Scary things that actually happened. On August 29th, 1968, all the televisions shut down because they heard him murmuring over the television, which sounded like the devil. Scary things that actually...
How does he know what the devil sounds like?
This dude ordered a pizza every day for 10 years straight until the employees found out the crazy truth. A girl by the name Sophia started working at Domino's in the 10th grade. Every time she worked, there was this dude who would call and order a medium pepperoni pizza every single day. His name was Matt, and Sophia got to know him good while she was working there. 10 years went by, Sophia was still working at Domino's, and Matt would order a medium pepperoni pizza every single day. Outside of Matt calling and ordering pizzas, nobody else really knew too much about him. His only friends or human interaction period was the Domino employees. But after ordering a pizza every single day for 10 years, it finally happened. Matt disappeared. Couple weeks passed and Matt was nowhere to be found, and Sophia started getting worried. She was calling his phone every single day. After Matt not answering the phone for about a month, Sophia sent somebody over there to check on him. That's when they heard a scream come from inside. Like this for part 2. This dude...
Scary stories about Disneyland, except this one...
The true story of the psychopathic twins.
Scary stalkers caught on camera. This video shows a girl while recording a man with a face mask following her on the road. Initially, she thought that he might be someone walking in the same direction, so she slowed down to let him walk past her, but the guy slowed down with her. For 45 minutes, the girl walked in circles around several blocks until she arrived at a skating park and approached a group of strangers. She asked them to help her and told them what was going on, finally getting rid of the man when someone tried to confront him about his actions. Scary stalkers caught on camera.
This man thought he got away with something terrible he did as a kid, but he was wrong. Once there was a rich businessman, let's just call him Derek. Derek was walking home from work when a boy ran up to him and started pulling on his suit. He said, "Mister, give me 1 penny." Derek shouted, "Leave me alone," and walked away. The boy was left outside freezing in the cold. The next day, the same boy was standing on the street and said, "Mister, give me 1 penny." Derek was annoyed. He threw a penny at him and said, "Here, there you go, now leave me alone." But he could have never known who this boy actually was. This time, when he got home, he started feeling uneasy. Something about these interactions felt a bit weird to him. He went to bed, tried to fall asleep, but as soon as he closed his eyes, he heard a voice right up against his ear say, "Mister, give me 1 penny." Derek jumped out of bed. His wife told him to calm down, so he tried to. There was no one else in the room, but something was wrong. Derek began to remember what he did. When he was a young boy, him and his friends had done something horrible. Terrified, he went up to the attic and found his old yearbook. Then, flipping through the pages, he saw a photo. Derek thought, how was this possible? He couldn't believe what he was seeing. Follow for part 2.
You should never trust the Easter Bunny, and this is why. It all began in 2016 when a man dressed as the Easter Bunny was seen wandering the streets of Fairfax, Virginia. The man would hang out in the same spot every day and watch the children play until it got dark. The children would always ask him who he was, but he would just say, "I'm just a friendly Easter Bunny." He would watch the kids and then follow them back to their houses so he knew exactly where they lived. Then, at night, he would break into their houses, kidnap the children, and then murder their parents with an axe. The police finally connected the strange kidnappings and murders to the bunny, but they could never find him and nobody knew where he lived or who he was. That is until one night during a patrol, the police saw the bunny walking with a little girl and holding a bloody axe. Part 2 coming soon.
Meet Tai Do T Walker. So many of you guys have been asking me to do this one. This is another really weird story from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. So this one goes like there was an old haunted house in the town. Everybody heard the rumors about how it was haunted and how a bloody head fell down the chimney every night. From time to time, people had tried staying the night as a dare, but nobody could ever stay the whole night at this house. Until one day, a very wealthy man in town offered a generous cash prize to anybody who was willing to spend the entire night from sundown to sunrise in this house. A boy volunteered and said he would stay in the house if on one condition he could have his dog with him. So the boy and his dog went to the house and they set up a fire in the fireplace and just got ready for the night. Everything was going smoothly, nothing spooky was happening until the evening. The boy heard a voice coming from the woods outside. It was a very distant voice in the woods and it said, "Me Tai Do T Walker." After this voice rang out, the boy's dog spoke back and said, "Lynchy Kinchy, Collie Molly, Dingo Dingo." Obviously, the boy was in shock because his dog had just spoken words. A few minutes later, the voice rang out again, but this time it was closer and it said, "Me Tai Do T Walker." The boy tried to stop his dog from answering this time, but the dog paid no attention to the boy and he sat up again and said, "Lynchy Kinchy, Collie Molly, Dingo Dingo." 30 minutes later, the boy heard the noise again, but this time it was in the backyard, and it sang out, "Me Tai Do T Walker." The dog responded, now louder than ever, and said once again, "Lynchy Kinchy, Collie Molly, Dingo Dingo." The boy heard the voice crying out, "Me Tai Do T Walker," but this time it was coming down the chimney. Suddenly, a bloody head fell down the chimney, missed the fire, and rolled right next to the dog. The head turned around, stared at the boy, and screamed, "Me Tai Do T Walker." So many of you guys have been asking me to do this one. This is
guys, that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye. Oh yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.